Hello students, welcome to the video of 7th General Science. Today we are going to start new chapter number 10, Disaster Management. In the last year we have learned about the disaster management. Now we know that what is meant by disaster. Disaster is any calamity, a sudden event that causes a large scale damage to life, property and social aspects of nation or society is called disaster, and this disaster is responsible for the loss of life and the property. Now we also know that there are two types of disaster. First type is the natural disaster and second is the man-made disaster. Natural disasters are earthquake, flood, drought, cloudburst, avalanche, forest fire. These are the examples of natural disaster. And man-made disasters are industrial accidents, war, explosions, fire. These disasters are caused by the humans. That's why they are the man-made disasters. Now let's discuss about some natural disasters. First is the famine. So famine is caused due to the long-term severe scarcity of the food grain and water, and due to that the condition arises which called as the famine. Although the main cause of the famine is natural phenomenon, yet famine condition is created by some human activities also which are responsible for the famine. So other causes of famine are drought, heavy rain and flood. Due to that the crop get washed away or damaged in the flood. Temperature change, damage of crop by animals or attack of pest, earthquake, these are also the reasons of the famine. Now the majority of the famines occurred in drought prone and flood affected regions where these are more chances of flood or drought. So the question arises, are we responsible for the famine? Obviously, some human activities are responsible for the famine. There is a water shortage as the population increasing and the rainfall is limited. Due to that, the scarcity of the water arises, and though there is a rise in the production of the food grain by the green revolution, but for that we use lot of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, and due to that the balance of the environment has been lost. So these are the reasons due to which the drought causes and condition of the famine arises. Also, unlimited lifting of water through wells and tube wells, erosion of land, misuse of water, these are also some reasons for the famine. Now let's see in the reasons of the cloudburst. Sometimes the water coming down from the rain clouds does not reach the land in the form of rain. It starts raining but water does not reach the ground. The reason for that, the heavy temperature, very high temperature near the land, and when this rainwater comes near the land it vaporizes and it goes back into the same clouds. As a result, the amount of vapor in those clouds become very high because already there is a vapor and the rainwater which vaporize come back to the clouds. Now, due to rapid condensation, it runs suddenly over a specific and small region at a rate of 100 millimeter per hour or more. This phenomenon is known as cloudburst. In small region, there is a more water near about 100 millimeter per hour, that is called the cloudburst. Next disaster is the flood. Now let's see about the flood. In rainy season, when there is a heavy rainfall, then the river become overflooded and the river water comes on the ground and enter in the nearby villages and cities. This we call the flood, and due to the flood there is a heavy loss of life and the properties, and due to that the people became forced to leave their houses and properties on a large scale. So this is also the natural disaster. So what we can do to avoid the condition of flood? First, construction of small dams in the mountainous regions to collect the water so that the possibility of flood reduces. Second, construction of percolation tanks so that the water drips into the soil. Third, make riverbeds flat so that it does not overflow. Cultivation of new forest to reduce the speed of the flowing water, and connecting the rivers so that the extra water, overflooded water, get equalized and there is no flood. Next disaster is the lightning. So we know that the lightning is the effect of the static electricity in the clouds. The static electric charges produces, and due to that the lightning produce and fall on the ground. And we know that the temperature of the lightning is even higher than the temperature of the sun, and it may also cause damage to the property and the life. So to avoid the loss of life, to protect ourselves, we should follow some safety measurements to protect ourselves in the condition of lightning. Now, which precautions should we take during the lightning? Do not stand on open ground or below a tree, which is very risky. Do not go to high location or climb a tree, because tree is the most probable place where lightning can be fall. Do not stand near the electric pole, telephone pole or tower, because the lightning fall on the metal firstly. Then do not lean on a wire fences around the farm, compound, a garden or house. If you are on two-wheeler, a bicycle, tractor or a boat, get off immediately and go to the safe place. We should seek some strong shelter to protect ourselves. Do not gather all together in a one place. Take care to keep distance of 15 feet between two persons, because if the lightning fall, it may protect all persons if there is a distancing between the persons. Do not use any electrical appliances during lightning, or even you should not use the mobile phone, because it may cause the lightning strike. Stand on a dry wool, plastic sheet, sack or jute, because they are the bad conductors of electricity and protect you from the lightning. Next disaster is the volcano. Volcano is a natural phenomena. The interior of the earth is very hot. Movement of hot substances continuously occur from the interior towards the surface of the earth. As a result, something solid, liquid and gaseous substances below the earth crust are pushed toward the crust, and due to that the substances come out of the earth crust and eruption and start flowing. This is called the volcano, and due to that atmosphere get polluted, and even after there is a rain after volcano eruption, and increase in the temperature due to the hot gases, and forests and settlements get buried under the hot mud. Now next disaster is the tsunami. Tsunami is a Japanese word which means harbor waves. When there is a earthquake at the bottom of the sea, then it pushes the sea water, and due to that the very tall high tides produce, and when these high tides reach to the coastal area, their velocity reduce, which was 800 to 900 kilometer. It is reduced at the coastal areas, but the height is the most important problem, because it may up to the 30 meters, and which enters in the residential area and cause the tremendous damage. It destroys the building and other construction. There is a loss of life and financial loss also. Boat, ships near the coastal areas get damaged. Trees gets uprooted. Landslide may take place in the original land near the coast, giving rise to swamp. Traffic obstruction arises. The business industries related to the sea are adversely affected and normal day-to-day life is also disrupted. Large-scale damage caused to the harbors. Next disaster is the storms. We know that storms produce due to the difference in the air pressure, and these storms are very destructive. It may cause damage to the property and life. So what precaution should we take during the storm? Regularly cut down trees or branches that are likely to fall and cause damage. If you are outside, take shelter in a safe place. If you are away from home, inform your close relatives and friends about your exact location. Shut down all the electric appliances and electric supply. Make telephone calls to warn your relatives and friends about the probable danger. Give temporary shelters to the people who are far away from their homes, so we can reduce this the loss of the life during the storm.